My name is Yosef Pelletier, and I'm at Godcity Studios in Salem, Mass, recording with Ballou and Zach Weeks.
My name is Ballou, and we're here in beautiful, chilly Salem, Massachusetts at Godcity Recording Studio. This week, we've been recording King Yosef.
I have BK, Baby Cameron, Young Camaro, or Cameron Tyler with me playing drums.
I'm Cameron Tyler. I play drums in King Yosef and Bolt Cutter. We're recording the sophomore King Yosef album.
Every album I write just kind of had some sort of physical element to it that I attach for the writing. I kind of view the ever-growing wound as the past, and I view an underlying hum, past to present, and this album is present to future. The last year has kind of been the first big year of the King Yosef touring cycle. I learned so much about writing music, about watching the way a crowd interacts with a song, and you start to understand the pieces of it that make things visceral.
You know, we took them out on tour with us, and so getting to witness the live intensity of the band and how that plays off an audience, I think is really interesting. And so I'm keeping that in my mind as working on these tracks, and we'll certainly be thinking about that a lot in context of the mix.
It's really weird music. All the forms for the songs are very different. There's pop form that exists in some of the songs, but it's really obscure. I've never broke cymbals in my life, but this year I've probably broke 6 or 7 cymbals at this point.
I'm having fun on this album more than I have before, so even lyrically it could still be dark, but it's not hopeless. There's still some power to be had and some control to be taken. The sample sources for this record are born out of a lot of different things, but I kind of wanted to go down the rabbit hole of creating my own sample library before I started even writing the record and kind of creating an archive. So there's tape loops that are kind of dispersed throughout the entire album that'll eventually become their own piece of music, but I spent a lot of time getting out of the box and making music without a computer.
Well, it's certainly exciting to work with Tavis and any other folks that are pushing the envelope of what is possible in aggressive music and what defines what it can be instead of the traditional just, guitar, bass, drums, vocals kind of thing.
I'll use anything before I use guitar because I'm not going to do it better than anybody else does if I do it the way it's been done. But sometimes, you can't beat a guitar. Sometimes they simply are exactly what needs to happen in that moment. I accept that. I keep coming back to Godcity because of the rapport I've built with Ballou and Mr. Zach. I think that they understand what I'm trying to do, and they're trying to get me to do what I want to do in the best way possible by helping me translate to a live room or to analog gear or whatever it may be.
I feel like we kind of established what our workflow was going to be on Underlying Hum. Now it's just broadening the catalog to establish the different places you can go, but still under the King Yosef moniker.
Zach's also a drummer. It's really nice working with an engineer that is on the same page, It's not just yeah, that take was cool. Zach's hearing everything that's wrong with it exactly when I'm hearing it. Or, Zach knows when it takes a take or when it feels good or when I could probably have gotten a better one.
Blue Morning is a song I wanted to write, what feels like my whole life. And I had the chords that make the chorus kind of laying around for a long time, and they were something I'd forgotten I'd written, and I kind of just opened the session one day and already had my microphone set up on my desk, and I started building the composition and recording the vocals at the same time, which most of my favorite songs happen that way, but they rarely occur.
It was tricky figuring out with that song exactly how Tavis wanted me to push the phrase, because the idea was he wanted me to kind of chop out a little bit, but I couldn't think of how to do that tastefully without sounding like a dork.
And I wanted this song to develop into something that I didn't imagine being able to do in the King Yosef sphere, and kind of pave that new path for myself, because it felt like one of the few paths I had not walked down yet. Walter is super special to me. That song's completely composed of just samples from my great-grandfather's own personal tape recordings, and me getting to sample those and make a song out of it when they never saw the light of day. And in some roundabout way, I get to release his music into the world. Feels very special to me.
It's like trying to make a meal without all your ingredients. Like you can get most of the way there, and me leaving Godcity is me having all the ingredients for the meal. So I'm going to reorganize and re-edit and rework these songs as much as I possibly can to get to the other side of this project.